Anthropologist has found evidence that extinct human ancestors may still be living in Flores Island's jungles. The hobbit may be alive and well right now. Homo floresiensis is a name given to a tiny but somewhat complete skeleton discovered on the Indonesian island Flores in 2003 by archaeologists hunting for proof of the migration of modern humans from Asia to Australia. In popular culture, it was dubbed the Hobbit after the breakfast-loving little people of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. Further investigation moved the estimate survival time of the species back to roughly 50,000 years from previous estimate around 12,000 years. Nonetheless, a retired anthropology professor from the University of Alberta in Canada claims that there was likely a missing evidence suggesting the species is still around and that, or at least within recent history. Gregory Forth, author of the soon-to-be-released book Between Ape and Human, writes an opinion article for The Scientist, which he claims paleontologists as well as other researchers have ignored indigenous knowledge and reports of ape men dwelling in the jungles of Flores. He said, "My aim in writing the book was to find the best explanation, that is, the most rational and empirical, best supported of Lao accounts of the creatures." Forth opines in the piece, and these include reports of sightings by more than 30 eyewitnesses, all of whom I spoke with directly, he said, and I conclude that the best way to explain what they told me is that a non-sapiens hominin has survived on Flores to the present or even recent times. And according to his account, the Lao people, Lao people who live in the island, have a folk zoology that includes legends about humans changing into animals when they migrate to adjust to new settings, which he compares to Lamarckism, transmitting of development physical features. And he says, as my field work revealed, such positive changes reflect local observations of similarities and differences between a supposed ancestral species and its differentiated descendants, he says. And since they lack the advanced language and technology of humans, the Lao just label these beings as animals. However, others have noticed their uncanny resemblance to humans. For the Lao, the ape man's appearance as something incompletely human makes the creature anomalous and hence problematic and disturbing. Forth continued, he says, Homo floresiensis' last known existence is at least 50,000 years in the past. However, Forth stresses the need to include indigenous knowledge into studies of hominid evolutionary origin. He says, in our initial instinct, I suspect, as to regard the extant ape men of Flores as completely imaginary, but taking seriously what the Lao people say, I have found no good reason to think so. He says, in conclusion, what they say about the creatures, supplemented by other sorts of evidence, is fully consistent with the surviving hominin species, or one that only went extinct within the last 100 years. So, is it possible? Is the Hobbit man still out there? It's possible. And this is by Mind Unleashed Katie Hutton. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.